downward striking with the shoulder. So one thing that I would focus on is pulling, right? Think about probably doing 2 to 3 times pulling movements for every pressing movement that you do. Right? So it'd be a good idea for you guys to just pick one pressing movement, whether that's horizontal or vertical. You can just switch it up every workout. And then do 2 pulling movements, right? 1 horizontal, 1 vertical. Okay? Then at least one, if not 2, leg-based movements, right? So you can do either a squat-based movement, and then maybe the next workout you do a hinge-based movement, or you can do both, one of each, the same workout. What I generally do for our circuits is I will do a squat, a hinge, a pull, a press, and then kind of build out from there, right? So in terms of plyometrics and things like that, you're already getting in a ton of jumping, right? You're gonna get in a ton of just pure output like jumps, so you don't have to put in a ton of volume, right? I don't need you to go and do 100 jumps as part of your workout, or 50 box jumps as part of your workout, right? But what you can do is you can work on the aspects of jumping that aren't quite as intense. They're going to beat you up, right? So think about like quick contacts, getting you to jump in and out of positions quicker. Think lower, smaller jumps, but quick jumps where you're thinking like floor is wobble. As soon as my foot hits, I got to get off the ground again. Those are great, right? Second thing you could do is like you could just do low volume of intense jumps, right? So whether that is a box, jumping off of a box or those sorts of things. I personally wouldn't do those with you guys yet, right? You need to get a lot stronger before I would have you stepping off boxes and doing those sorts of things. But you're already jumping, right? So holding a small weight, I'll have some like 1 pound weights and 2 pound weights, or like 5 pound weights, and doing some loaded jumps are great because the intensity needs to be really high, right? But they're only as good as the intensity that you can put into them, right? So if you're doing a jump, right, versus like giving it all when you're doing a jump, you're going to get completely different results. And that goes for anything in the weight room, right? If I'm doing a squat, right, I could do a squat versus I could do a squat and explode up, right? I'm going to get completely different results. Right? I can have 10 people in here doing the same thing. The people who are really focused on every single rep, giving it their all, those are going to be the ones that have the best results, time in, time out. It doesn't matter what the program is or what the workout is, that intensity matters as much as anything else. Okay? So just keep that in mind as you're doing stuff. I'm going to set up a few little options and we'll get going. Work on our change of direction, ankle stability. All right, so this one's going to be, you can use anything that's elevated here. It doesn't have to be anything special, and you can even start without it being elevated, right? What we're going to do is we're going to jump on, off, over, on, off, over. Work on being controlled first. Once you can show control, then you can worry about speeding it up, right? The way you progress this is you can start by either elevating the boxes up higher, or you can start by moving the boxes further apart. Okay? So we'll do that first. Think every time we jump from one side back to the side we started on is 1. We're going to do 5 reps on each leg. Okay? Now we're moving to here. I'm going to set up set up the monitor, but we're going to start this out slightly. So we're going to have the ball here. We're going to jump up beside the thing. Okay? When we land under control, we're going to do 5 jumps. Okay? From there, let's move around. Let's move around this way. So we'll go into here. Here we're going to work on our hinge pattern. Right, so I want to start with the weight in between our feet. Okay, when the weight's in between our feet, we're gonna reach down, we're gonna grab the weight first. Then I wanna use the weight a little bit to bring my butt down, shoulders up. I'm gonna press up from there, right? I wanna make sure the weight stays in between my feet the whole time. So on the way back down, now we're gonna focus on pushing the hips back and lowering it. Then I'll pull hips under, press up. Hips back, hips back, hips back, hips back, down. So you notice how when I lower it, my chest and my face go towards the ground, right? So I'm pushing the butt back, chest and face towards the ground. This is our hinge pattern, right? Once I get towards the bottom, now I'm gonna transition it into a little bit more of a squat. So I'm gonna bring the butt under, chest up, push the ground away, right? I'll help you guys through all of it, but that's what it should look like. Then we'll move into here. So I know you guys have a glute ham machine. So we'll focus on how we're going to be using it.
We have a Buso ball too.
What's that?
We have a Buso ball too.
Okay. Okay, so here we're going to hook in. We'll go up higher on this one. We're going to hook our ankles in underneath the pad here. I want to use this band right underneath armpits, or you can hold it out in front of the chest, whatever you guys feel more comfortable with. All right, so this is just going to add a little bit of assistance on the way down. Right, so what I want to do here is I want to keep the hips tucked forward, shoulders back and tight, and I want to lower down under control. And once you get down here, you can start by pushing yourself back up. That's fine, right? I really want to focus on the lowering portion first. Once you get stronger, now you can lower down and pull yourself back up. What I don't want to do is I don't want to have the hips shoot back. I want to keep the hamstrings long, keep the glutes extended forward, right? So squeeze the glutes, hips forward, think long from the knees up to the torso. Let the band assist you versus breaking up the hips, okay? From there, we're going to go into 2 pulling movements. First one's here. Let's see, which one do I want to do? We're just going to do a single side row. So we're focusing on pulling the elbow back, getting that fist kind of outside the bottom of the ribs. I want to focus on maintaining body posture, right? So I don't want to turn every single time. I want to hold body posture, and what this will do is because we're loading from one side of the body, it's going to allow us to work on our core and hip control. Right? Then we're going to transition here. Here we're going to go, there's 2 loops. You see a bottom loop and an upper loop. You can do the handle, this is nothing special, right? So this is just what I have set up. But we're going to drop down into a lunge. Bring yourself far enough back to where your arm can fully extend and still have some weight on it. Then I want to take your head and angle it towards the cable, and we're going to pull down from there. So imagine it's like a one-arm pull-up, okay? So instead of having our chest back and pulling to our chest, we're going to have the head towards the cable and pull down from there. We'll do both sides there. Then we're going to end it here, elevating the heels. We're going to put the weight here on top of the shoulders. So I have one side of the weight on top of the shoulders. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to squat down and then use the legs to press it up overhead. Okay? Back down, then we'll squat down and use the legs to press up overhead. The more you can use your legs, the easier the press is going to be. This is a slightly smaller.